Hello and welcome to the Power Half Hour Unstoppable Business Owner. I'm your host, Dorothy O'Dell. I have the distinct pleasure of bringing to you Crispin. Welcome to the show, Crispin. Crispin works with leaders and creatives who are working to make the world a better place and want to get there faster. She is a movement and performance coach and a certified teacher of Integrative Alexander Technique. So that right there is a mouthful, but I was intrigued about all of that. And so that's why Crispin is here. So welcome to the show, Crispin.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I want people to know like who you are though. Like tell us a little bit about yourself outside of what you do for your business.
Well, happily, what I do for my business is all of my life has led to this point. So my first career was as a contemporary dance choreographer. I was just musing the other day about, I was going to try to design a major in college, but my parents wouldn't let me do something so weird as that. But the major was like studies of the body with visual art and anatomy and choreography. And that's really what I've ended up doing. So too bad I don't have that degree to follow that up. My degree is in visual art. So over the past 35 years, I've been working as a choreographer and then all kinds of side hustles that support that not great money-making habit of dance. And all the while I was studying this thing called Integrative Alexander Technique that helped me show up in the moment for anything I needed to do. It helped me with injury prevention and recovery and even task switching. We were talking about multitasking before we came on screen here. So anything that requires me to make a new decision or to do something on purpose for myself, this stuff works with. And now, having worked some in corporate and small to mid-sized businesses, I've realized that there's a real gap in communication skills that are about being in your body and using the resources of your nervous system to support your message rather than maybe defeat your message a little bit. So the work that I do now is to support entrepreneurs, businesses, and also artists, because I just can't quit artists.
I love that. I love the fact that you are into dance. I find that so intriguing. As someone like I love to dance, but I've never done it professionally. I basically do it at weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't go to nightclubs. My husband and I are very much, we'd rather stay at home and watch a movie. Although there is the occasional time I'm like, let's go out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I can never get them on the dance floor. So that's why I look forward to weddings, because then I can dance and just be myself and be self-expressed and not care.
Yeah. You can dance in public in cities other than my own and other countries. Like I've never been a wonderful social dancer. So everything that I did was for stage and super weird modern stuff. And also just love to watch people so much when I'm dancing in public that it's kind of like a lot of work for me. But I would be with you on the dance floor at whatever wedding you want to invite me to. I'm there.
It's funny because the one that really comes to my mind is my uncle got remarried, and after my aunt passed away, and I didn't even have a care in the world. Footloose came on, and that was it. Shoes came flying everywhere. Yeah, and it was one of like the best nights. And so, anyways, enough about me. But I just love the dance part. Maybe one day I'll get into that and sign up for a dance class or something. Who knows?
There's always time.
That's right. I'm not dead. I'm only 48. My great grandmother was in school up until into her 90s. So just because she wanted to continue to learn and keep her brain fresh, that was the only reason why she did it. But yeah, so I give kudos to people that do that. So making the world a better place. So more about that.
Well, in one way, what I touched on at the beginning, the idea that embodied communication is a skill that cleans up mixed messages and makes people not makes people more authentic, but allows people's authenticity to shine through. And I think there's so much noise and garbage around layering costumes on top of costumes. Often for women in the workplace, just, it reduces our capacity as humans. So in general, the work that I'm doing is supporting like human capacity and human happiness. And then the things I really care about are things that I want to put my life's energy into supporting. So women's issues, lesbian and gay rights, LGBTQIA rights, the whole even animal welfare. Like if you're doing good work, then we're going to be a good match.
Right. I love that. It's funny because I keep on hearing the word make impact. The mission is to change the world, right?
Right.
Make it a better place. And so whatever that looks like for you, as long as you're doing something to make the world a better place, right, is how I see it. But I love that. I love that you want the world to be a better place.
Well, I think that, so just to interject, like part of our vertebrate physiology is that when we have somewhere that we're heading toward, even literally walking across the room, our vertebrate system, everything comes online in a much more coordinated and easy fashion. So in a way, asking people, what are you really passionate about? What do you want to get done in the world or in your life or in this day? Just having a goal really supports the learning process of this embodied communication stuff.
Right. I love that. Love that. So we touched a little bit on it, but what is the Alexander Technique? That is, I'm sure a lot of people are fascinated to learn more about that.
Yeah, it is. And I agree. It's a lot, even adding integrative at the front of it is like so many syllables. What does that mean? So the Alexander Technique started by this guy, F.M. Alexander, who was born in Tasmania. And he was an actor and he was losing his voice. So he developed this process to figure out how he could change the use of himself so that this vocal problem wouldn't happen. He had seen doctors and they said, go on vocal rest. And then when he went to perform, it would just come back again. So at the time, the idea that how you use yourself impacts something like your voice, you losing your voice was kind of a big revelation, right? For us having lived through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, self-help is well known, but it often doesn't get integrated with mind and body in daily life. So people might go off to do a practice that's meditative practice or body work or yoga. And the idea behind Integrative Alexander Technique is that you use it while you're doing other things. So once you learn it, which I always aim to have people learn real fast so that they can, play golf the way they want to, or get on stage and or even in a sales call and communicate effectively and authentically without the friction of nervous system, anxiety, distraction, losing your voice, any of the things that can put a bump in the road around, for instance, a sales conversation.
Right. Oh, love that. So it's almost like bringing mind, body, and spirit together is what I'm picturing as you're talking about that. I love that. And it's funny because I know growing up, for me anyways, we were never taught anything about like the mind, embracing the mind, body, and spirit. It was just like, just do it. Right. And it's ironic the way you started up, I was chuckling because I was just like, yeah, I was told to go in and be a bookkeeper. My dad's like, you just go be a bookkeeper because everybody in the world will need one. And
that's true.
So
and a haircut.
Yeah, that's right. But so that's how I fell into my profession. So I love that, you said your parents wouldn't let you do uh, get right into the major that you wanted for dance. And I was just like, I can identify.
Yeah. Well,
they didn't want me to go away to school to Humber College, and they wanted me to stay in a local community college, and that's okay. I mean, it worked out the way it did, but
well, tricks on them. I'm still doing it, and I'm perfectly happy.
Oh, I love it. So what 3 things would you say that you had to do to overcome to get to where you're at in business today?
For me, because I had working as an artist for so long, I had so many side hustles. It was really figuring out how to prioritize this business and any things in the past that were complementary had to serve this. So at first it was because there was a transition period of, gosh, I don't even know where you'd start counting the years, but I guess I got officially certified in Alexander Technique in 2017. I had been on a long apprenticeship path before that. So it's kind of, I'm like, when did I start? Oh, in 1992. But anything that complemented my priority had to really complement it. Like it either brought me money or it had the right schedule or whatever. And then, then the next step was taking the leap to just letting any of those possibilities go, which I'm 100% committed to this work now, which is great and has worked out. Thank goodness. But taking that leap was like, oh no, because I was so used to having lots of little opportunities and pockets going like, oh, I could always tap into that. I could do this other thing. But there's some tax to being someone who has a lot of interests and skills. So yeah.
I love that. That did answer my question. And as you were talking, I was just like, oh, I love how you say that, because if anybody's out there listening to this now, or in the future, because this will live on my Roku or on my YouTube channel forever, what you just said just struck something that I've never heard it said that way before, whereas this is my priority and everything else has to align with this, or it doesn't, or it will fall away. And I think a lot of us just, some of us focus on just the money aspect. Well, what can make me money, instead of focusing on what you really love, and then the money will come around it. So that is interesting. I love that. Make your focus, and everything will come around it.
Well, it's not natural that things I mean, it's definitely, the word hustle and side hustle is real, right? It takes.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of this. I was just like, it dawned on me like a couple of weeks ago that I've been in bookkeeping in 30 years, and something I never really talked about until recently. And then I was just like, oh, I've had a hustle, a side hustle, and a side hustle. So the hustle,
Right.
side hustle, pretty much my entire life. And I'm like, damn, like it's time to chill.
That's a lot of skill building, right? With all of that work, you learn how to meet new people and negotiate new things and do new, it's all different all the time.
I just need a couple of these movie deals to come in and I'll be set.
They will. Maybe it'll be the Crispin and Dorothy Power Hour multi-film deal.
Maybe that's what it would be. That could possibly be, I'm still not giving up on my veterans and getting them their movie too. So let's go one for life, one for business, and one for service. I like that. So anybody watching that wants to get us on the Discovery Channel, hook me up.
Want to know? Why don't I know about the veterans movie yet?
Yet?
You're going to tell me? I know it's
So,
supposed to be half hour
well,
about me, but
well, it is about you. Well, yes,
yeah.
sorry. So, since you asked, I do have another show called A Journey in Boots From Trauma to Triumph, which features stories from our men and women in uniform. So, whether that be military, whether that be first responder, like fire, police, EMS, things like that. So yeah, those who want to share their journey in the service and talk about it, that's what we have, a separate show just for them. Yeah.
That sounds like a great show.
It's an amazing show. They're all amazing shows. Here's the thing. I am impacting the world by sharing positive stories about people that have overcome life, business, and service, and people like yourself that are willing to share their story and get it out there to say, wait a minute, if I can do this, if I can overcome this, then so can you. There's no reason why people should feel alone. And so, yeah, that's why we started it.
There you go.
4 years ago. That's right. So what would you say you help your clients overcome then?
So in general, I would say it's super specific to the individual. Some things I see pretty commonly are they might come in saying, oh, I have back pain and tension and nothing has fixed it. So that kind of fix idea that they might have gone the medical route, and all great practitioners, all wonderful things. And really it's something in the way that they're moving in the world that is impacting their tension level, how much pressure they're putting on their spine. I have my teaching assistant here, Shazam, to help remind people that your spine does have curves. Sitting up straight doesn't really count, doesn't really help. So I address a bunch of the physical things that happen. Of course, it's never just physical because we are biopsychosocially whole. So mind, body, communication is all happening at the same time. So that's a big thing. And then I also, when I'm working with people around public speaking or not so public speaking, so things that aren't, some people don't ever want to be on a podcast or don't ever want to go on stage, but they do want to speak up in meetings or deliver a great workshop or do their book tour and be able to answer questions during the Q&A without getting overly anxious. So looking for the kinds of things that might set them on their heels. We do that through talking and also through me using my eyes, watching them, kind of imagining scenarios. And I might say, oh, I see some interference when we talk about the question and answer period, or someone doing job interviews. Oh, you're really good at talking about the organization you're interviewing for, but when you talk about yourself, things get out of whack. So looking for those little signs of, oh, I'm not really functioning to my best capacity because of some idea I have about myself. So, and that's all mind, body, and communication stuff.
I love that. Ooh. I'm just getting a picture as you're, so basically some of it is like you're reading the person and a little bit intuitive as you're talking to the person as well, I would imagine. Like watching their cues and also maybe a little bit intuitively of what could possibly be going on.
I would say I won't deny intuitive capabilities, but in this work, it's most important that the person notice themselves. So I'm there to say, oh, what would you say is happening when you answer questions about yourself? right? So I take the information, all the information I get, and rather than like assessing them,
Mhm.
I ask them questions about it, because for them to make a change, they kind of have to do that investigative work themselves.
Right.
Instead of, if I just tell them what to do, then it's just like putting on another costume on top of the costume, right? It's just like
Right.
layering someone else's, um, I want to put wisdom in quotation marks, someone else's ideas about what's going on.
Right.
And I'm not always right, right? So they might say, oh, that I was working with someone over Zoom once and I thought she was getting teary-eyed. And she said, oh, no, my mascara is just clumpy. So I need to ask to see what's really going on.
Right. Well, that, and that's good, because you never want to make the assumption, right?
Right.
And with Zoom nowadays, I mean, you can talk to anybody around the world, which is one of the greatest things about Zoom. But then the other part is, you're not really sure what you're really saying unless you ask the questions. So love, love, love it. So you have something coming up. What is it that you have coming up?
Well, a few things going on all the time.
Cool.
I'm about to relaunch a program that is a private coaching program for people who are working toward a specific event. So that's a 12-week, 10 to 12-week private coaching program where I work with people to access their natural coordination and uncover that natural confidence. And I also work with them on content development. So if they're, for instance, working on a workshop and they want it to be a more engaging, interactive workshop, then we work on that kind of content, and then a rehearsal process. So those are the 3 phases of that. And then the link that you've so kindly added to the ticker there is a freebie for people who want to have a reliable process to get them ready for video calls. So it's kind of 4 ways to energize your video calls with 2 warm-up activities, things you do before you get on the call, and things to remember and reinforce while you're on the call.
Awesome. Love that. Yeah, I never noticed that a lot of people are, I'm not sure if afraid is the right word, but like getting on video is not their easy, like,
Right.
comfort for
Yeah.
them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a friend that she is great speaking in front of people. She could she could take the room by the horns, but the moment the video gets on, it's like she freezes. And so she's really good at it. But she just has that initial, I'm not going to say freak out, but it's not, it's uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. So
that's my client right there.
Yeah.
Really good at her job, really engaging. Something goes haywire.
Yeah. For sure. Oh, that's awesome. So if anybody that, is in that position where they should be doing video for their business and things like that, but are, either afraid or have some skepticism about that, definitely get a hold of Crispin. I think that would her energize. I think this flash ticker that's flashing across the bottom would be great for you to take a look at that. Anything else that we haven't talked about that you wanted to touch base on to share with any of our viewers?
I would say that wow. Right now in the world, I want to say just slow down a little bit. We're it feels like a time where people are overstimulated and stressed out. And I, for instance, just moved my to-do. I used to have like a top 3 things on my weekly to-do list. I'm like, I have 1 focus area a week now. I'm going to do that really well. It has nothing to do with my work except that I'm looking for any ways available to make sure that my nervous system is as relaxed, as calm, as responsive, as, you know, calm and relaxed aren't always what you need, but ready, um, and flexible, so that we can interact with each other in ways that we want to interact with each other. Yeah, that's what I want to say. That was a long
That's
roundabout
okay.
thing there.
I love it. I have to ask, are those paintings, did you do those that
I
are
did
behind
not.
you?
No. These are prints from artists. Yeah, that's it.
They're beautiful from what I can see. Anyways, I love the colors. I love, you know, anything that's bright and that stands out. That is, I love that. But I just had to ask.
Yeah, I usually I'm wearing, you know, it's not really colors, right? I usually wear really dark colors, so you would never know that I'm like, I always want really bright colors around me. It's not on my body.
It's funny because if you look at my closet, there's like every color in there, except for not a lot of green. I don't wear a lot of green, but you know, I have some favorites, some not so favorites. Now I'm going more into black because it looks better, it looks more professional, I've told. So, except for today, I didn't wear black, but anyhow,
You can wear whatever you want. Says me.
Says you. Yes, I wear a lot of red because red is also represents the veteran space too. So yeah, it depends on my mood. If I'm not, you know, depends on what I'm feeling. If do you think that though, like clothes? I've heard different spectrums of this. Clothes, the clothes that you wear can bring confidence to whatever setting that you're going to. And have you ever used any of that within the work that you do with your clients?
So the other thing I wasn't allowed to do when I was applying to colleges was to go to fashion school, which again, you wouldn't necessarily know from my wardrobe how much I love clothes, but I do love clothes. And I just started taking a pattern making and sewing class. So I'm like bucket listing the heck out of life right now.
I love that.
Yeah. I definitely think that if you're uncomfortable or wearing something that doesn't feel like you, it's going to affect you. I also think for women's clothes in particular, anything that restricts your ribs is going to affect your breathing, is going to send your nervous system into even a low-key emergency mode because our bodies like to breathe. So I don't know if you've ever had that experience or even seen it in cartoons where women are like, gotta get this thing off, gotta get my bra off at the end of the day. Well, because they're torture devices.
I don't think my mom even waited to get into the door when she was done work. I think she might have even tried to get it off in the car. Sorry, Mom, if you actually watch this episode. You know, but anybody who knows my mom knows that that's the first thing that comes off that woman's body as soon as
don't blame her. I don't blame her in the slightest.
Don't take her to a restaurant. She'll even do it there. I'm sure. I don't want to embarrass her too badly, but anyways, I'm sure some relatives that watches this episode will get it back to her, but it was inconspicuous. No one knew anything. It was fine. She was in a booth, but she wanted comfort, and she got comfort. My brother dared her not to do it, and so she did it. That's my mother.
And she probably was breathing a lot easier after that.
Yes. See, okay, so that's the thing. We're on torture chamber devices, and I get it, and that's why I found a very good bra, the Shapewear. Very first bra I ever bought myself that I paid more than $20 for, but I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. So, ladies, if you don't want to wear those torturous things, get into shapewear because I'm telling you, it's not restrictive. It feels basically like a second skin. And no, I don't make any money off shapewear. But
maybe you should.
Maybe if shapewear wants to give me an affiliate link, I will do so. I will be your girl. But anyways, enough about that. So I just want to thank you so much, Crispin, for coming on here, sharing your wisdom. Any last words before we wrap this up?
Thank you for inviting me. And if anyone wants to reach out, I'm here for you.
Perfect. And where's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Well, either my website in the ticker there. I'm also on LinkedIn as my social media of choice, and my name is really ridiculously hard to spell, so you'll want to copy and paste it. Yeah, those are the two best ways to reach me. And I'm in Seattle, but I also work online and on site with businesses.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I will have all that information about Crispin in the show notes as well. And thank you so much for being on here today. I ask and encourage everybody to please go to our YouTube channel, Unstoppable Overcomers, subscribe, share with all your friends. If you want to definitely be on our show, we're definitely looking for more guests. Go to our website, check us out, or definitely send us an email at grahamdorothy408@gmail.com. We'd be more than happy to hear what you have to say. If you have any questions or any particular topic you want on the show, we'd be more than happy to hear from you. We just thank you for being here. Be unstoppable in all that you do. And remember, same time, same channel next week. Bye for now.